Check and check.
Bam.
Check
and
1, 2,
then
and check 1, 2, and check 1,
a
2.
clap.
Clap.
Clapper.
Clap on, clap off. The clapper.
All right. So for today, what are the topics, Miss Peggy?
Today,
Miss KP?
well, Well, I first want to bring up the fact that it is, can I say the date?
Yeah.
It is now July 11th.
It is.
Our last video was May 4th.
I mean, they don't know that because we just released the first video.
Yeah, but we said the date in the first video.
Right.
We were talking about Star Wars.
Well, now we're talking about,
What happened on July 11th?
yeah, we have a premiere for our 48-hour.
We do! We did a thing. We made a movie in 48 hours.
A short film.
A short film.
Yeah, 7 minutes.
Still a film. It's got film in the name.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Did a good
It was a lot of
job. And we're doing the premiere tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going
you
to the
can't come.
premiere. Yeah.
And more than likely, you're gonna watch this and realize that you missed it because, you know, you weren't a part of the cool guys group.
You weren't on the cool people group.
But like the last format, it's the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Driving home from a day's work.
Yeah, and it's actually not as fucking bright as it was. And if you'll notice here in a few seconds, it won't be as bumpy because they finally did construction on this road.
Yay!
It has been under construction. Just this tiny little stretch of road. For how long?
It's been like 3 years.
3 years!
Since I've been here.
3 years!
It's been under construction, and it looks nice.
Yeah, they put the cute little lamps, which they
Who
didn't
doesn't
need.
like lamps?
You didn't. There's like 40, 50 fucking lamps. We don't need it.
We don't need lamps.
That's just a waste of electricity, I feel.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we waste even more?
I mean, it's not like it's bad to use electricity.
I think it is. Have you ever heard of light pollution?
So, please, explain to me in the audience light pollution.
Okay, basically light pollution, or there's probably another word for it, but it's basically like in big cities where lights are on constantly, you pretty much aren't able to see stars.
So,
And
okay.
everything.
Oh, yeah. But who needs to see stars?
That's like the prettiest thing ever.
It would be interesting. I was watching or saw something on Facebook, like a real American. And
that's where you get all your news from.
that's, you know, we're already...
Believe everything Facebook gives you.
Don't look at sources. Never
No.
worry about that.
No.
That's for losers.
Did we film the first one before the whole Mark Zuckerberg Facebook
I think it was
conflict?
happening that week.
That week?
Mm.
Oh.
And that was fun.
It was fun.
They were all-
and
they
they
were-
are trying harder.
Well, everyone's trying harder
Yeah.
because of it. But there were some really funny memes.
Yeah.
Some
Like
really
he was
funny
like he's more of a robot.
Or an alien. I see a lot of
Or an
aliens.
alien, a robot or an alien. Jeez.
Well, that's okay, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a big deal. If I was memeable, I would welcome it. Like with Donald Trump, I think he welcomes it. You know, why not? Why not?
Why not?
Tell us
Just
how you really feel. What's going on there?
Milking
Who's milking?
those people.
Them. I hate them. Wait, who we're talking about?
The people who make themselves memeable.
The feminists. I got you.
Feminists.
I mean,
Really?
everyone makes themselves memeable, especially whenever they
I think
overreact.
well, I don't know. I guess.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with memes.
No, I love memes.
If anything,
but
they just shine a light on how silly everything is. What's wrong with that?
no, I'm not saying that there's anything
What's
wrong.
wrong with it, though?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with memes. It's the people who only say things for people to make fun of. Like, there's not even a possibility that they really truly believe what they say. They just want someone to make fun of them and therefore make them more popular.
I mean, but plenty of people do that.
Yeah, they do. And I don't think that's right. That's not authentic.
So you're happier with someone being authentic and then in their authenticity being memeable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So intent. I like it. That's simple enough.
Yeah. It's too hard to be other people. Trust me.
I've tried.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a friggin' actor, bro.
I mean, you are, though.
That's like your job is to be other people.
But you are an actor. Or you're doing it.
I am.
You've done the thing. We're doing another thing next month.
But there's a whole thing with an actor is that it's a job. So you don't have to do that 24/7. Could you imagine if you had to do that 24/7?
A lot of people do, I think.
They do.
I feel like a lot of people put up a face.
Yeah, a mask. They put on a mask. And
like Jim Carrey. Well, he's not dead. He's fine.
No.
You just look like, let's remember Jim Carrey. I'm like, is he okay?
I love Jim Carrey. And the first, it's funny because the first reaction that I had when you said that, I didn't think of the movie, which is like one of the first movies I've ever seen in my life. But like, what I was thinking, like how he is as a person, like for so long, that's what he did. He was the funny guy. Yeah. He was there to make people like happy and everything.
Sure.
And it hurt him mentally and physically.
Well, he seems
for
to talk
a long time.
He seems to talk about that, but I don't know, man. I think that could be a misunderstanding. Because I don't think it was so much what he was doing that was hurting him for a long time.
Well, no, he didn't show his true emotions. He never let anyone see that.
I don't think that's it either. Can I not disagree? From whenever we watched that documentary, it seemed like what really got him messed up was that he tried to fill his life with stuff, with things, with being successful.
What documentary?
Well, we watched a video online on YouTube about him and his past and what he thinks and why he's acting the way he's acting now. And I don't think it's his movies. I don't think it's what he did. Or like acting wise, I don't think acting is the issue he has this problem with. Well,
no, honey, it's not acting. It's him putting on a mask. It was him being this person that he wasn't. I mean, it's not that he wasn't, but he didn't want to show his negative feelings.
I suppose what I got from that documentary was that he was like everyone else, where we all try to fit things into this person. So like you, Caden, you're trying to put things, like with me, Homero, I'm trying to put things like drawing, art, creativity, all this.
Funny.
But some people do drugs, sex,
rock and roll,
drugs, knife protection. People do that, and I think that's what he was trying to say, was that with acting, with success, he was never able to find true happiness in any of those things. And it wasn't until he looked inward and realized that, family and love and relationships and people, that's what makes him happy. And that's what makes...
I think you need to watch it.
I think you need to watch it again.
I think you need to.
I think I have hit the nail on the head.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Okay,
well, in my opinion, I disagree.
That's completely fair. That's completely fair. And you have the right to do so, because we're in America. The greatest nation in the whole wide world.
This is America.
Apparently. I like it. I think it's good.
It needs a lot of improvement.
Who doesn't? For rizzles.
Don't poo-poo it away.
I'm not poo-poo.
I love that term, by the way. Poo-poo. Don't poo-poo.
I like to think that there's like a dwarf that just poops on things.
No poo-poo!
Yeah. But that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I got that message when I'm watching it, but maybe I overlooked it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the guys that are listening to this are like, you both are wrong, assholes.
Yay, big Vicky.
And I support the right for you to say that.
Oh. He also became a painter.
Yeah, if you can call those paintings. They're good. I like them. Very,
It's him.
Yeah.
It's very much him. Like,
this comes back to this whole thing, though.
Self-expressive.
I like them, but this comes back to my biggest problem with art. I love art, and I dig it. But when is it art, and when isn't it? I love that it's so subjective.
It is subjective.
I love that because for me, some things are not.
Yeah.
What people
and to
consider
me,
art.
some things are not. Like,
It's all about, for me, technical
And-
proficiency, practice,
yeah.
discipline.
And for other people, it's feeling.
Yeah.
It's emotion.
Who needs that?
You can have
Why can't
all-
it be both? Why can't
Exactly. Honey, there is, like, you can have both. It is both. However, the way some people interpret it, it's all feeling. It's all about emotion.
Yeah.
It's all about just what, like, feels good when they put
be both? Sure.
that medium to whatever other
But I
medium
feel
they're
like,
doing.
that's something that comes after you.
No.
I think so. This is just me. This is just me talking. Me, my opinion. Me, because I want to be a creative, an artist, not just a director or a storyteller, but an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, you can have fun and be creative and everything, but like to call yourself an artist, you have to have all the technical, all the practice done and finished so that you're not worried about putting things in perspective. You're not worried about rendering. You're not worried about all the things that would make it an amateur project. And then you're just worried about the feeling. But that's just me. That's just me. I think that comes after. That's what the masters should worry about. You know, the amateurs should still practice. They
can't
No,
put to
they
paper
can't.
what they're feeling.
Bro, they totally can. But to sell it and call it art, I think it's
all
It's
a
a slip-
matter of perspective.
it is. It's just a slippery slope.
Yeah, well, I was really pissed at one point, you know, when I was in art school. Go West Georgia, go Wolves. Oh wait, look, go Wolves. Is that what a wolf does?
I think that's exactly what they do. They move.
It's not a moo, it's a
My bad.
But anyway, when I was in art school and we had to take a trip to the High Museum, and one of the first things you see when walking in there is this giant canvas print. Big, thick canvas print of red, green, and blue.
Oh.
Giant painting, and it's just solid colors. Red, green, and blue.
Okay.
And I was like, are you kidding me? I could have painted a color on a piece of canvas and I could have sold it to the High Museum for thousands of dollars? What? That's not talent. They're a freaking hack.
Okay.
However, this is the question that I always bring to myself is, why didn't anyone else think of that?
I bet people have.
Or, no one else has done it.
I bet people have. I bet
Yeah.
kids have done that.
No,
Why not?
I don't think kids have done that.
You don't
Or
think a
if
kid
they
has taken a
have-
piece of paper and drawn 3 or 4 squares and colored them solid colors? Yeah.
Not in that way.
Maybe in a better way.
Maybe in a better way. But they weren't a professional artist.
But that's the question. And that goes back to what I said. So this professional artist, he's a good artist, yeah? Not only does he do solid colors, but he does everything else, right?
Yeah.
Still life and all this. And
Yeah.
All right, so after all of this mastery and all this time in practice, then he puts something to the canvas that he feels.
Yeah, but we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. That's the beauty of art. It's also what people see when they look at your artwork. It's also what emotions like come from them when they see your artwork. That's why I have a love for abstract painting, because with abstract painting, you get to see almost what you want to see. There's so much to it. I feel like you can create even more art with other people's abstract art.
Sure.
Yeah. And another little art Q&A for you. Do you know of the Dada era?
I think you've told me before. But
Oh yeah.
I can't put.
Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. If you ever watched this documentary. That's how it begins. But anyway.
So is it like the anime? Do ra 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 ra.
No.
It's a decent anime.
No. Yes, but no. It is decent anime. We need to talk about anime here in a second. Except we're continuing this.
Is anime art?
Ooh, now that's a question. But hey, let me finish. The Dada era. Its whole purpose, because right before that was a very, very technical era. The Impressionists, the future. Actually, Futurism was the first step into Dada, I believe, because with Futurism they were experimenting with different shapes because everyone was so technical. There were so many people that were rejected from art museums and galleries and nothing was good enough. Nothing was precise enough. So a group of people got so fucking pissed off because their art wasn't considered art. So they created a new movement where they almost did the exact opposite. So extremely rebellious. Dada was all about rebellion. It was cutting up magazine clippings and almost like putting them into an image, or mixed media. A lot of mixed media. One of the more famous Dada artists, Marcel Duchamp. One of his most famous pieces of work was he stole a urinal, put it upside down, and wrote his name on it.
And this was a response.
This was a direct response to how shitty, I guess, is a more modern term you could say, to how artists were being treated back then.
I like that. But that sounds very political.
It is very political. It's also because nothing was. Everything just felt so droll. Everything felt the same. Nobody was experimenting with different things. It was all landscapes or like female nudes and.
I mean, who doesn't love female nudes?
I mean, everyone loves female nudes, but yeah, everything was just very, very similar. And I forgot where I was going.
We were just explaining what it was.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that was if it wasn't for them, I feel like we right now would not have nearly as much creativity if it wasn't for them, because they themselves opened up people's minds to what the possibilities of art could be. You had more collages, you had more what is that term?
I don't know. You got it. It's coming.
I want it to be one of those. What is it? Installation art. There we go. Installation pieces.
That's more mixed medium.
No, it's like an installation is basically you have like an area, and like
Right.
that whole area is a piece of art. Like you focus on like the floors, the walls, what's in the room, or
Sure.
how the room is affecting.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite ones is the one that became popular in Japan right now. Oh my God, it's a light show, but like the rooms and everything are treated differently with light. Like there's one room where it looks like infinity. There's these beautiful like pink neon lights hanging off of strings, and there's giant mirrors all over the floors and walls, to where when you look, it just looks like just a sea of just neon pink light. Oh, it's beautiful.
Very interesting.
I want to go.
Why not?
I want to go to Japan.
Well, I want to go to Japan too. For
Oh.
damn anime titties.
Ooh, damn anime titties.
Why not?
Hey, but that kind of rounded about. So anime.
Yeah.
I love anime.
Yeah.
It's great,
Who doesn't?
right? Who doesn't?
I mean, if you don't, what are you doing?
Right?
With
Like,
your
what
life.
are you doing? I feel,
Maybe that's why there's so much hate in the world.
yeah,
No.
not enough anime
not
is
enough
being
anime
is being
titties.
like shown. I mean, not just anime titties.
Well, anime ass.
Not enough yaoi.
That's fine. I'm not discriminating. All the anime for all the people.
All the anime.
Everybody gay.
Everybody gay.
Why not?
It's spectrum.
I think it's art. It takes discipline.
Yeah,
It takes technical proficiency.
it does. You should see the
And-
freaking schools.
And with anime, along with this
Ooh.
animation now, a lot of it is being frame by frame drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Which that means you need to be able to render and draw and animate. Like, dude, of
Yeah.
course that's art. But then you do get a lot of people that aspire to be those animators and everything, and they're not that good. My only big problem is that there's a lack of good education.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find it, but bro, it takes it. You have to be very disciplined.
Yeah.
You
And
have
there's
to be-
there's an obvious thing with anime is exaggeration. They're almost like caricatures. But in order to know caricatures, you have to know basic anatomy. You have to know basic anatomy. Otherwise, your eyeballs are going to be like where your nose should be.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen some terrible, terrible anime.
That's what a lot of these artists like Sakura, Yasin, and Cynics, a lot of these guys don't like about anime is that it's incestuous. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the styles are just borrowed from other styles.
Yeah.
It
Although
starts to look
sometimes it's a good thing.
It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that, a lot of the times it's starting, instead of getting your foundation from real life,
Mm-hmm.
which would make it infinitely more appealing,
Mm-hmm.
people just get not so great anime get their look from another anime because that anime is popular,
Yeah.
and they differ it a little bit, but then that just means it's just like incest. After a while, it deforms. It deforms proportion to the point where it's just not appealing.
Yeah.
Like you've seen a lot of the anime or my
Uh-huh.
Twitter. Follow me if you like anime, hentai, or ichi, because that's all apparently I look at. There's just a slew of pornography from a 2D sense. But there's a lot of people that just break those proportions. And, I mean, if that's what they want, more power to them. But I just don't think it's appealing whenever a woman looks proportionate but has, like, breasts the size of those tank tires.
Yeah. Like, that's just not...
It's a fetish.
Not only is it not realistic, but why would you ever want that for that person?
It's a fetish.
They have to carry all of that weight.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't realize until either you told me or I think Superbad, where like the woman had big knockers, and like the point was, yeah, she's got huge breasts, but she had to get them reduced because she had back problems.
Yeah,
And I was
that
like,
was me.
Fuck.
Yeah, no one thinks about that. Like, just one of these bad boys, one of my bad boys, is like almost 10 pounds
Jesus.
for one. That's 20 pounds. That's 20 pounds. I got to carry.
You carry him well, though.
Thank you. But yeah.
There you go.
There you go. So anime.
Yeah, it's art.
Yeah. When it's done correctly, just like cartoons, just like real life.
Yeah. Speaking of cartoons,
I don't know why I quoted real life.
Real life. Like we're real. I mean, what's real,
It's
right?
the Matrix.
There's no way to prove that you're not in the Matrix. Like there's no way to prove that I was watching this thing, and I still am a little confused, but I thought all brains were the same.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, with watching a lot of this, like Steven Crowder and all this stuff, like he talks to people about, this change your mind things, change my mind. And some of these guys would like because of gender pronouns and stuff, and how they, like with transgender and everything, it's making me question what's going down, because like some of these guys believe that there's male and female brains. I thought that would be totally against, like, what...
Excuse me?
Yeah, dude, like, there was a transgender woman who was a man, and, she was talking about how, like, trying to prove, the transgender mindset of, changing your sexual orientation, right? And, like, the stuff that she was saying to back up her claims in a scientific standpoint, saying that she was reading these articles about how there's a male and female brain. And so some of these guys, her included with some other people, are trying to prove that, let's say, like, I was born a boy, but I was thinking I was a girl, where, well, like, apparently there's these scans that would prove I have a female brain. And I'm like,
no,
doesn't that defeat the purpose?
That defeats the whole fucking purpose.
Why would you say there's a male and a female
Why?
brain?
There's many things.
Are there white and black brains?
That's many. That's so backwards. It is so backwards. No.
It doesn't make much sense.
No.
But I just thought it was funny. I heard that and I was like, fuck. That kind of, I mean...
You cannot say that there are male and female brains.
I don't know.
When there's people that think they're both. Or there's people that have both.
Yeah, I don't know. But I did learn I did learn a lot about that kind of stuff, though. Just like facts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, but the suicide rate for people that are transgender.
Yeah.
Now, when I say that, that means people who identify and people who are going through surgery and hormones. Suicide rate is unbelievably high.
I mean, wouldn't
like
it be?
42%. Even after the surgery, it doesn't
Wouldn't
change.
it be if you felt like you didn't belong in your own body?
Oh, no.
And then going through the process of trying to change your body to fit how you feel, like, that's an ungodly experience.
There's got to be something else, man. I don't know. It just, like, I'm all for people doing what they want to do, but at what point do you consider it to be a mental health issue? I'm not saying the transgender, all of them are, like, mentally ill, but suicide is not something that, like...
Well, I mean, it can also... Well, honey, it's also a cultural thing. I mean, you could say that...
What?
Yeah. You've never heard that statistic? You've watched South Park, come on. But it's true.
What is it?
Is that the Japanese, their suicide rates are very, very high.
Right, but nowhere near as high as the rates for, like, the transgender community, man. It's crazy. It's like 42%, dude. That's so we meet 100 people. 42 of those people want to die, like kill themselves. I don't think that Japan is that. I think theirs is like 17. Even that's a lot, but fuck. That's, oh man, it just blows me away. And you're right, it is cultural, but no one's forcing.
Well, I mean,
like
it's the opposite.
But here's my thing though. In Japan, why are the suicide rates high?
Because it's an honor thing. If they feel
Well-
like their honor has been tarnished, or
I think it was more of like a failure.
their
Like-
honor.
Well, I don't know if you would say it's honor. I just think it's like there's so much pressure.
There is a lot of pressure.
There's so much pressure to work
and to be
and
successful.
to be successful, which means you don't have time to play or you don't have time to be in relationships. Like I hear that's one thing that the Japanese are going through now is trying to get these young adults to
Because they don't want to.
fuck and have
They don't.
kids.
They don't want
They
to.
don't want to. They'd rather, like, the dudes would rather be in bars where, like, they pay women just to hang out with them.
Yeah.
It's just fuck.
And girls, like, they do dating sims.
It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
So weird as fuck, bro. But then again, I can't say anything because here in America, like, that's a huge stigma too.
Mm-hmm.
Because where does it become?
Except I feel like it's way worse because, like, it's not that we are avoiding each other.
Everyone starts.
It's almost glorified in using people, like things like Tinder and everything like that. The like Grindr, all of those are like meant to be for like quick hookups.
Well.
Or that's what they're stigmatized as. It's quick hookups.
It is. I agree. I don't think that's
Just
where
masturbate.
that's where it gets interesting. Is I don't know if the answer is just masturbate, but I'm a romantic. I mean,
Yeah.
So like I like the chase and woo and
The woo.
The
I didn't
wooing.
even know what that was.
the wooing. It's
Woo,
a beautiful
woo,
thing.
woo.
But then there's like all these lines where, of course, not all. I seriously doubt all women feel this way. But my question is like, when is it? I thought it would be like a romantic thing.
Well, I mean, not
For, like-
everyone feels that way.
Well, here's my thing. There's a time and a place, obviously. And you need to
Mhm.
learn how to read people, obviously, which means you need to travel, you need to learn how to talk to people, you need to be able to speak like you're a fucking person, speak your mind, and not be a nervous wreck. And because apparently, if a guy comes in nervous, it makes him look creepy and weird if they stare. Like, there's all this unwritten, but known rules. But if you can get through all of that, even then, it's still pretty difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
think
why is it so difficult?
I think a lot of it just has to do with respecting. I think we as people, and I mean people, like the whole world,
Well,
we don't show enough respect.
so to that,
There's always this sense of entitlement whenever it comes to like either you being different from a whole group of people or someone else being different from a whole group of people.
So here's my question. Do those apps that you just mentioned, Tinder and all this stuff that just are meant for one-off and is casual sex, an inevitable sign of disrespect in the long term?
I mean, it depends on
It's
the
just
people.
a question. It's just a question.
It depends on the people, but the overall sense and the overall stigma, again, like, it's very much that. That's what it wants you to do. It wants you to just, like, quickly match, quickly, like, meet up, quickly hook up, and then go on to the next one.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm more of a like, oh man, she's so gorgeous, and then you talk, and oh man, she's so nice, and then oh man, you are physically and mentally attracted, and then there's this whole woo period.
Yeah, but there are times when people meet each other online, like even through Tinder. There's people that I know that got married meeting on Tinder.
Sure, but is that because they went in with a different intention?
Maybe.
So does that mean intent?
I do think intent. I think matching other people's intent is a big thing.
So I wonder why that's not a thing that's on Tinder. Like they have levels where it's like quick hookups, medium-term relationships,
I think there is
and long-term
I
relationships.
believe there is a dating site that does that. Like I think Plenty of Fish. I think Plenty of Fish,
Isn't that
eHarmony.
But isn't that like a Christian thing, like
Plenty of Fish now. It's just a regular one. Now a Christian Mingle.
That's the other thing too, is like, why do we put ourselves in all these boxes?
Why?
I hate it.
Why?
Meet new people.
Why? I hate that.
Agree to disagree. Like, I like meeting people that I disagree with.
I hate that
I
so
like
much.
talking to people that just have nothing, that they don't even like what I do. They don't even like, they're not into it.
Well, it's not even like liking. I mean, it doesn't have to be about liking or hating. I mean, you can be like not interested in a certain subject or a certain type of thing, and just being enlightened and just knowing. We're not saying that you have to do this or you have to like this thing, but there is a certain amount of respect that you get from other people when you realize just what they do or why they love what they love. It's amazing. I love hearing about people talk about their passions, and there's so many things that I like and that I'm intrigued by. Like, it's hard for me to get that kind of point of view where I'm like, oh no, I don't want to talk about that, because there's just too many people out there that have a passion for it, and it doesn't matter if it's religion, if it's just a hobby, or if it's a sport, or.
So then it comes down to, what kind of people do you like to meet? I am a big fan of ambitious people. Any kind of other people that are like the passion. Yeah, but people can talk a big game.
They can.
But those who really do and they hustle, bro.
Hustlers.
Love that shit.
Hustlers, man.
Anyone else, get that shit away from me.
Yeah, the very self-deprecating.
Negative.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Pity fucking party. Not that I'm not, I don't sympathize with plight, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, we all went through some shit. Just get up.
Yeah, why don't...
Stand up.
Okay, there's another thing, too, is that there's, like, for some reason, people assume that other people have never been through hard times.
You're talking about privilege.
Privilege?
Well.
Are you freaking kidding me? Even the most wealthiest, the most privileged of people, there is always something that hinders them. There is always a harsh thing or a harsh time that they have to go through.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, just because their problems are different doesn't mean they're not problems.
Yeah.
I agree.
And again, there's different perspectives, and that's honestly what makes the world so amazing. Is hearing about all of these.
I agree. I agree. I'm with you. To me, it's just tough, man. Because I don't like to. I feel like I just come across as an asshole because I just don't like hearing people with excuses.
Well, I mean, I feel like there are a few exceptions to that. Hang on, don't you? I don't know.
I don't know.
When it comes to, again, mental health,
Lived it.
Comes with,
Lived it.
Okay. Yeah, but other people, like, have gone through different things,
Sure.
They have gone through very hard things where even the strongest willed can become almost tethered.
And that's
mentally.
That's fine, but they can overcome.
They can't. Anyone can overcome anything.
They can overcome it.
I hesitate to say that because I have not. I've obviously haven't experienced everything.
But you have had a fair experience on tragedy. And dealing with anxiety, like myself, depression. So and you're a fucking knockout, man. That's why it's
it's all perspective.
But that almost reminds me of whenever people say either everything is funny or nothing is.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about ambition and people that just sit there and just whine. It's like, either there are excuses or there shouldn't be. You know, I'm sorry, man.
Like, you can have excuses, but use those excuses to your advantage.
Sure.
Use those excuses and flip that.
I agree.
And flip it. It's like, you know, I may have lost a leg, but damn it, I can still freaking run.
Bro, there's like people with no legs that run marathons.
There are people with no legs that run marathons.
I mean, fuck
And
it.
again, it's from looking at other people. Other people, man.
Sure.
I don't understand why anyone would want to shut off themselves from any other person.
Well,
Just because of what they look like, what they believe.
Well,
Like, who cares?
it's fear, jealousy.
Why is it fear or jealousy?
Well,
I don't understand. I really don't understand jealousy.
and
I mean,
whenever
like,
you don't understand, like, here's the thing: is when you don't understand something, I think it's human nature to fear it. And
I should be afraid of jealousy.
dude, some people are. Some
What do you
people
mean
get.
afraid of jealousy.
Think about it.
How could you be afraid?
Well, you're jealous. Like, this is just me talking about when I was growing up, and I was a jealous guy,
Yeah.
especially when I was dating. It's one of the harder things to get over, at least from a guy's perspective.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I was telling you about.
There are some jealous women.
There are some jealous women. You are definitely not one.
No.
You are not. And I feel like I'm way better than what I was, but it's a thing, man. But here's the thing, is like, oh shit, I'm jealous. I don't think that's ever popped up in my head until after I overcame it. But in the moment, I feel this thing where I'm insecure, and then I get mad that I'm insecure. And then that anger turns into fear of loss, because when you're insecure, it's because you fear of what you think is an inevitable outcome. Whether that's, I'm fat, I'm gonna get bullied, people are gonna call me fat, or I'm insecure, she's gonna cheat on me, oh man. Like, there's a fear that goes along with that jealousy. That's what jealousy and fear are so tied in my mind. And so whenever, just think about that. I'm just talking about it from someone who, I'm definitely not racist. And I've never felt, I was never really jealous about a race, about anything. Not really, not that I can think of, but I was definitely jealous of dudes because either they were better looking or stronger, or they were more charismatic. And, you know, just because it's almost like as a musician, I was always worried about being the best guitar player, but then you're like, there's always going to be better.
Yeah.
So
there's always, like,
technically better,
there's
but
always going to be someone,
Right.
like, to show you up.
Right.
Always.
Right, but there's never going to be another me.
No.
So whenever I looked at it that way, it's a lot easier to be less jealous because you're you. And regardless of what other people do, you're going to still be able to overcome those feelings because they're just feelings.
Yeah.
They're going to be things you feel. Just get over them, man, because life's not worth the aggravation. It's way too short.
Yeah. The only time that I thought I felt jealousy, like, ever, like, I think it's, I don't even want to say, because, like, I asked myself, like, am I jealous? Because the way that I interpreted jealousy was wanting to be that person. Like, but do I want to? Like, I never wanted to be another person. Like, I thought I did. I thought I did for a very long time. Like, actually, one of the first feelings that I felt was that I thought I was jealous of men, of boys.
Sure.
Because the things that I wanted to do, like, I wanted to play football. I wanted to play around with the boys.
Sure.
And I was never able to, because I was always told, you're a girl. It's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, why? And it almost always, like, because you're not a boy. And it's like, but
now someone says that, they get triggered as fuck.
Oh yeah, but
And they
it confused the ever-loving shit out of me, because, like, I honestly had that thought. I was like, am do I want to be a boy?
Yeah. Is that, yeah.
And it wasn't really jealousy. It was moreover confusion, because I could not understand why I couldn't do something simply because I wasn't a boy.
Well, luckily, now we know that it wasn't a problem with you. It was a problem with society.
Yeah.
You know, people back then saying you can't do something because of who you are, or what gender you are, or your race. I wonder if that has something to do with a lot of the stuff that's going on now.
Yeah. And like,
I wonder.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, because that means society could be to blame.
Society's always to blame.
For like a lot of the stuff I don't want to say, because you can draw your own conclusions, but you never know, dude.
You never know.
You know.
Never know.
But I'm sorry you felt that way. It's made you who you are, though.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Very strong-willed I am.
But that's good. I feel like those kind of tests are needed.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how are you going to be able to know who you really are?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to question who you are.
No.
You want to know for a fact, Kate Homero.
Yeah.
You want to be able to say, this is me, and if you're not happy with it, change it.
Yeah. And I never took it as wanting to be another person.
Sure.
I always wanted to, I guess, make myself better.
That's good, though.
You know, like change, like almost like an evolve.
That's good.
Like I evolve.
Yeah.
Like another instance where I thought I felt jealousy was, or I thought it almost made me think I should, because everyone talked about being jealous of this girl.
It's a cultural thing.
And like we all grew up with this girl, like she was the richest in the whole school, which was like,
so automatically,
yeah,
she's got labels of prude and
right.
bitch. And,
No, it was never like that.
No?
No, everyone like loved her.
oh.
Everyone always complimented her, but like behind her back, they were always like, "Oh God, I'm so jealous. Like she has everything. It's not fair. It's not fair. It was never fair." And I'm like, "But why?" Like I never thought that
Automatically, yeah, you start
that
to
it was her.
You see the real
like
privilege come up.
Like yeah, like
Jealousy.
I never understood that. And when I was attempting to be a Girl Scout, that's how I got to like interact with her, because I was never in that group.
Sure.
Because I was a weirdo. But
Nonsense.
for real, I was ostracized, bro, for a while.
I know the feeling.
But I got invited to a sleepover at her house. And it was the biggest house I'd ever been to. Well, besides my aunt's, but like I didn't like put those two together. But anyway, but yeah, she had a big house, big pool, like she had a big room. It was like the room in the Mean Girls, like with Regina George.
Yeah.
Like she had her own like living room.
It's her own thing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
But
Sounds like they were really well off.
yeah. For people that lived in tiny little what would you call it? Would you call it a mountain town? It was right under a mountain.
When we were growing up.
Yeah.
Maybe,
a mountain town.
it was a small town.
Very small town.
Everyone knew everyone.
Yeah.
Now it's different. But
Oh God. Oh, I hate it.
it's more people.
Even though we live in a city.
Fuck people.
Hate me. But yeah, I hung out with her, and she just seemed like a normal person. Like, yeah, she had really straight hair, and she like tanned like every week. That was a thing. Back in the day, man. Everyone had like tanning salons they would go to.
Tanning was a big thing.
Tanning was such a big thing. And I remember this one chick who was paler than me, and that's saying something. She was way paler than me, and she was one of the popular girls too. So like all the popular girls, like all of them had to have a tan. All of them had to have a tan, all of them had to have stick straight hair, and all of them had to have lip gloss. Like that was a necessity.
Yeah.
Necessity. So she was in the popular chicks group, and she's like, well, I can't tan. The doctor says I can't tan. Like she was like a step
Physically,
away.
she can't.
Yeah, she would burn because she tried it one time,
Yeah.
and she had to come to school as a lobster for a week.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but she got a spray tan.
Oh no.
So she went from being a lobster to being an orange.
Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa Loompa.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I never understood that. Even with celebrities. I did feel that, I was like, I wish I had like the Lux life of a celebrity, But it was never jealousy. It was never like in a mean way.
Sure. Sure.
Because I feel like that term like jealousy always stems from a negative.
It is a negative.
Yeah.
It is a negative. I mean, I think it's rare, but it could be positive. Like, I'm jealous of other people's abilities, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stigmatize them or make them feel bad. I'm going to be like, fuck you, man. You're awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I could be that awesome.
Compliment those buddies, man, because they
hopefully
work
again.
hard. They worked hard.
You hustle.
They hustle.
That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, that's why I'm saying it's not an easy thing to get over, but men and women both share it.
Oh, yeah. We share everything.
It's a universal emotion.
Yes.
But I mean, you can overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
You can overcome it. That's why the thing I'm not a fan of is people using that as an excuse. Well, your life is perfect. You got everything you want. I'm like, fuck you,
Oh my
bro.
God.
Fuck you. You don't know.
Like,
you don't know.
they use other people as an excuse. And it's like, wouldn't that make you want to push yourself harder?
Oh, not for the lazy, though. Not for the lazy.
Really?
For the lazy, it's easier to wallow in their self-pity.
Mm-hmm.
Change is hard.
Change is hard.
Change and work is hard.
Because
But
it's
what's
every
easy?
day.
What's easier? Just sitting there in your own filth, complaining. It's easier. You get to say what you want, eat what you want. Who's gonna care? You're only gonna, you kind of like disrespect yourself to the point where.
Yeah, and if you
you don't even
disrespect
care
yourself,
about yourself.
Yeah, if you disrespect yourself, like why? Like how? Not even why. How can other people respect you when you don't respect yourself? It's the same thing with confidence, with love.
Sure.
Like there's no way that you can fully love another person when you can't love yourself.
Well, you have to know who you are.
You have to know who you are because that's how you better connect with another person.
Yeah.
That's how that intent. And I think that's a lot of the times when it gets lost in translation.
That's when people fight.
Yeah.
There are misunderstandings, and
You have this.
you have to grow first.
Yeah, and we live in a society. We live in a society.
Oh my God.
But no, we live in a society where like everything is like demeaned to quick fixes. Quick fixes.
Well, like pills.
Everything's quick fixes. Quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
You know
No.
what's really funny?
Huh.
I don't know how you feel about this, but there was a female doctor on Joe Rogan
Uh-huh.
talking about how birth control was the worst thing ever for women
Probably.
because of the way it imbalances your hormones.
Yeah, probably.
Now, she was talking strictly of the pill. What you have apparently is one of the best things.
Even the ones that have hormones? An IUD.
An IUD.
An IUD.
Yeah, because apparently the way it works, it instead of a pill that regulates your hormones through your pancreas and everything, and then that then influences what's going on female-wise,
Mm-hmm.
IUD goes directly to your female reproductive organs.
Yeah, it physically blocks it. It like sits in between it.
Right.
Like here's my little example.
I don't know the specifics, but she was saying is she wishes that every woman either got an IUD or followed something else.
Yeah, or
something
they could find another way for men to take birth control.
No, but listen to this though. This blew me away. Is that there is another form of birth control, one that's natural, and
not having sex?
No, because apparently women are only fertile 5 days out of the month.
Yeah, but you can also, like, there's also a possibility of getting pregnant, like,
I don't know that
when you're not fertile.
I don't know.
Like, you can get pregnant at any point in time.
I don't know.
Any point in time.
All I know is and this is what I'm talking about, this other woman talking, and I even can't remember her name. I have to look for her up.
Mm-hmm.
But she was talking about this cycle where you avoid any other time but these 5 days, and every woman is different. Sometimes
every
it's 6
woman is different.
and 7 days, but you can feel it and you can see it and all this. And there's a monitor where you can monitor your blood, and it'll tell you.
See, now that would be awesome.
That's what it is. I have to show you, because I never heard of this shit. And she's like, yeah, dude, this is like your natural birth control. You just listen to your body, because otherwise,
or
you can you can regulate when you can have sex
mm-hmm.
and when not to have sex, and you won't have a kid. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, but people want to have sex every day sometimes, though.
I know, I can understand. But
like, what the heck?
But yeah, like, I mean, she was talking.
Or you can do the even awesomer way.
Yeah.
And pay attention to the moon. I am so convinced.
Tell me how you really feel.
I'm so convinced that people are connected with the moon somehow, because this is no joke. This may be TMI, but I really don't care, because every woman has it. I don't care.
Well, if they made it this far,
right?
56 minutes into this podcast.
Oh yeah, 56 minutes. Dang, we didn't stop, man. We just kept going. Look at that.
That's right.
Didn't have anything. We didn't stop talking as
I
well.
kind of want Chick-fil-A fries. I'm a bad boy.
Fuck you.
I know.
Oh,
I'm a real asshole. What were you saying about the moon?
Butthole. I have had my period on every full moon. I have started on every full moon. But Kennard, a full moon only happened at... No. And every time I've started, I have looked up.
Howled.
Gotten hair on my palms. And saw that it was a full moon. Like, for real. It is scary. And it's happened the last 4 times.
I mean,
it's cool. I think it's really cool, but still.
It's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, like, cosmic horror.
Yeah, it's like cosmic horror.
Even though I don't think it's really horrific, it's just more interesting, is that no matter how big we think we are, there are forces much more influential.
Yeah.
That can just change how you feel and think no matter what you do.
Yeah.
That's why I love Mass Effect.
That's why I love nature.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And if any of those things are off, we know it. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't really know it.
You feel it, though. You feel it. That's why, like, like that instinct, when you feel an instinct and you can't explain it, but you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
I really want some Chick-fil-A French fries.
You don't even know. You have no fucking clue.
I don't think you have any clue.
I don't.
Because I'm Irish and I love potatoes.
I am Homero and I love white women.
That's racist.
And Chick-fil-A. Why is it racist?
So you can just stay at Chick-fil-A. You get all the white women you want.
I love black women. I love all women.
Mm-hmm.
All women.
All women
but
beautiful.
Yes. Except you fat women. Get out of here with that. Oh, I'm just kidding. They're nice.
And they're beautiful.
All right. There's a point where you condemn.
There's a point. We do not want to get into this
right now. There's a point where you condemn.
We have like less than a minute. No.
There is a point where you condone an unhealthy lifestyle by calling someone that's like that beautiful. Where is that point? I don't know. We'll tell you in the next episode. But just so you know, I'm an asshole.
Sometimes.
You know what? I just want everyone to be happy and live a long, healthy life. And weighing 300 pounds doesn't do it.
gonna get a lot of hate for that.
I hope so.
I hope you know.
I hope I do.
I hope you're prepared.
I'm sorry, but believe me, this is something that I've had to deal with all my life, is being overweight, and it's still a struggle every day.
That's true.
But I gotta tell you, it's not impossible.
It's
And
not.
you can
it's
fucking
not.
deal with it. And me calling you out on your shit means I care about you. So stop being a little bitch and go out and do a run or some shit.
And with that being said,
Stop eating pizza.
And
I love it too, but I can't have it all the time because of my heartburn. That's what I get. That's what I get for being honest.
oh yeah, right.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We hope you enjoy.
I hope you did. We again talked about a lot of serious stuff.
Crazy stuff.
Lot
I'm
of
sure we're
crazy
gonna
stuff.
regret.
I don't regret any of that.
Just kidding.
I thought I was like gonna regret the first one, but I was like, it's not that bad.
It's all right.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Yeah.
It's fine. We'll get better as we go along, and
Yeah.
we hope that you stay tuned.
Yeah, and
watch it.
we hope that you understand more of where we come from.
Yeah, this is who we are.
Yeah.
And this
Kaden.
is. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Oh.
Oh shit! I really have to pee. Oh, we should probably turn these mics off.